Hey parents and teachers, this episode is also available in Spanish on Cráneo, Ciencia para niños, curiosos. We'll put the link in the description. Let's get started. Hey Orbiters, Rob here. Hold on to your headphones because we are leaping straight into the jungle today. Whoa, look at this place. Trees everywhere. There's vines hanging down, leaves in every shape and size. Huge leaves, itsy bitsy baby leaves, shiny leaves. There's even some leaves with beetles crawling on them. Let's keep walking. Hey, check that out, a banana tree. Wait, look up there. It's a family of spider monkeys munching on some bananas. And look there, right by your hand. There's a furry little caterpillar eating a leaf. You know, I've always wondered something. If caterpillars and monkeys eat plants, what do plants eat? Some of you Orbiters sent in some awesome questions too.
How are plants alive if they don't have a heart? Why do plants need soil? Why do some trees grow tall and some don't?
So grab your explorer hats and maybe an apple. Today on Orbit, we're diving deep into the world of roots, leaves, flowers, and photosynthesis. And we'll be joined by our friend Charlie from the Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden in Miami, Florida, in the United States. But first, let's go check in with our pal, Milam. Hey, Mr. Milam, welcome back to Orbit. How are you doing, my man?
Great.
You were telling me that you did not sleep well last night.
No.
No? What happened?
I had all these bad thoughts in my brain and I finally went to sleep at 2 and then I woke up at 5.
So you must be feeling pretty tired. Do you have energy for today's episode?
I do not know.
We don't know.
Maybe.
We're gonna find out. We might get sleepwalking at some time, or maybe in the middle of the episode.
I sleepwalked all the way to the couch when I was in my mom and dad's bed since I couldn't sleep.
You sleepwalked? Do you do that a lot, Mr. Milam?
Yes.
You do?
One time I sleepwalked downstairs and slept in the dog bed.
Wow. Yeah, I can't believe you sleepwalked downstairs. Like that sounds kind of dangerous. How did you make it downstairs?
I don't know.
We don't know. You're like, I was asleep,
I also
Robert.
went to the bathroom going sleepwalking.
You have the strangest sleep habits. Well, hey, were you ready to play a game?
Yes.
Okay, this one is called Plant or Pretend. Do you know the rules for this game?
Yes.
Okay, what are the rules, Milam?
You make up or say a real plant, and someone else has to say if it's real or fake.
Yeah, that's right. So Milam and I will take turns giving plant names and descriptions, and the other person has to guess if they are a real plant that exists in the world or a fake plant. Milam, you want me to go first this time?
Yes.
Okay. The first plant is called the sensitive plant. It is very shy and it needs its space. The sensitive plant has leaves that fold up when you touch it. Is it real or fake?
Real?
It is real. Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's right. Yeah.
I didn't even know.
But you got it right. All right.
My turn. Brown fern. It's known for its brown leaves.
The brown fern known for its brown leaves. What do you think, listeners? I think that this is fake because I think they need to be green for photosynthesis.
Ding, 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 ding. I know what photosynthesis is. Ding, 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 ding.
Wow, there we go. Okay, so it's a fake plant. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one is called a howler blossom. When an animal tries to eat it, its flowers release a high-pitched noise, kind of like a scream, that scares away the animal.
Fake.
What do you think, listeners? Is it real or fake? Milam is correct. That is not a real plant. Just made that one up. Okay, you ready to go, Milam?
Yes, a purple pine known for its pointy leaves.
A purple pine known for its pointy leaves. What do you think, listeners? This one's hard. I've seen purple plants, so I think this one is real.
No, it's fake.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I thought up of that one.
You came up with that one? Well, you fooled me. Okay, let's do another one. This one is called an ember fern. So the ember fern has fronds, which is just another word for leaves, which glow faintly red in the dark, like they are the embers of a fire. Is it real or fake, Milam? What do you think?
Fake? I don't know.
Milam is saying fake, and he's correct. Milam, you're doing great in this game. All right, your turn, Milam.
Butterwort, known for it traps insects.
What's it called?
Butterwort.
A butterwood.
No, butterwort.
Butterwort. Wow, that's kind of a crazy name. It's known for trapping insects. I've heard of plants that trap insects, but that is such a strange name. I'm gonna say this one is fake.
No, it's real.
Oh no. Milam is winning this game. Okay, last one. This one is called a corpse flower. Most flowers smell beautiful, but not this one. The corpse flower smells like roadkill. Yuck.
Real?
You think it's real? What do you think, listeners? Is real. That's totally right.
Yay,
Yeah.
4 for 4.
Yeah, they're crazy, but you don't want to get close to it. It smells really bad.
I have one more.
Oh, you have one more. You want to do that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Witch's hair. It's known for stealing water from other plants.
It's called the witch's hair. And it steals water from other plants. That's hard for me to believe. I think this is a fake plant, but I'm afraid because you've tricked me.
No, real.
Oh, it's real. The witch's hair is a real plant. It steals water? That's crazy.
It's called a parasite plant.
Oh, it's a parasite plant. That is very interesting. We'll have to learn about parasites someday. Well, hey, Milam, are you ready to learn about plants today?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Today's guest is Charlie from the Fairchild Tropical Botanical Gardens in Miami, Florida.
Hi, Charlie. Welcome to Orbit. What do you do for work?
My name is Charlie, and I work as a teacher at Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden in Miami, USA. And Fairchild is a really big garden that has thousands of tropical plants from all over the planet. And what me and the education department do is actually work with schools from all over the world, just teaching kids that plants really are magic, and also why they're so important for the planet.
Hey, Charlie, what were you like as a kid?
Milam, that is a really good question. I was a really energetic child. I always loved being outside, and I would always want to go on tons of adventures with my friends. We would always pretend to hike a mountain or go through a jungle to explore and discover and see, what kind of treasures we would want to find. But also, my mom would take me to Panama in the summers for about a month or two, and we would go and spend time with family, but also to explore the country. We would go check out the beaches. We would go to the parks to learn about local plants and animals and why nature is so important and learning about the people and what they do there.
I love it, Charlie. Hey, Milam, are you ready to learn about plants with Charlie?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Hey parents, do your curious little ones want to participate in upcoming episodes of Orbit? It's totally free to submit questions. Here's how it works. You fill out a short consent form, and we write to you on WhatsApp telling you what the upcoming episode topics are. Then, you record your kids' questions with your smartphone and send them to us. Visit www.cumbrekids.org/questions or click the link we'll leave in the description. Okay. Let's get started with questions from a few curious orbiters.
Hello, I am Livia from Spain. I'm 7 years old. And my question is, what is exactly a plant? Hello, Orbit. My name is Sigrid Mostajo. I am 9 years old. I live in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. And my question is, what is exactly a plant? Thank you. Bye.
Great question. Plants are living things that belong to a group of organisms called plantae. Plants are able to turn sunlight into food using a process called photosynthesis. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. They are made of tiny cells that have walls that give them structure and roots that help them drink water. Hey, Charlie, can you tell us more? Like, where can we find plants?
That is an excellent question, girls. Plants are actually a living thing that play a large role in how the world works. In fact, we wouldn't even be breathing without the oxygen that plants produce. Even all of our food directly or indirectly relates to plants. So if you take fruits and vegetables, those come directly from plants. But if you think about having some chicken nuggets or something like that, those are indirectly related to plants because the animals eat plants.
Fruit and chicken nuggets are both things that I love. What about things that aren't food, Charlie?
If you guys look right now at your sneakers have something called rubber on them, and rubber actually comes from a tree. Now, if you look at your t-shirt and you see that your t-shirt says the word cotton on it, cotton also is a large bush, so even our clothing comes from plants. We also use plants to build things, so wood actually comes from trees. So building your house is also coming from plants as well.
Wow, that's so many things around us. Hey, Charlie, where did the word plant come from?
And in terms of the word plant, that actually dates back thousands of years to the Roman Empire, where the Romans invented the word plantar to mean something that grows.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that's where the word plant comes from. Okay, next question.
Hi, friends. My name is Kenji. I live in Pasadena, California. I'm 5 years old, and how are plants alive if they don't have a heart? Hello, Orbit. My name is Amelia. I'm 9 years old. I live in Bogota, Colombia. And my question is, what makes a plant alive? Thank you. Bye. Hello, my name is Danica. I am 8 years old. I live in Venezuela. And my question is, what makes plants alive? Thank you.
To answer this question, we need to think about what it means for something to be alive. Living things like plants, people, mushrooms, and my dog Hank have a few things in common. Do you know what they are? If you'd like, you can pause the episode here and talk with your parent or grandparent or a friend. Here's a hint. There are 7 things that all living things can do. How many can you guess? Okay, ready? Here's the answer. 1. All living things move. 2. All living things eat or make food. 3. They use that food to make energy. 4. They can detect changes in their surroundings. 5. They can grow. 6. They reproduce, which means they make more living things of the same type. 7. They get rid of waste, like poop. If you think about something like a rock, it doesn't do those things. Or a bicycle. Or a glass of water. Those things don't grow, they don't eat food, they don't reproduce. But a dog or a butterfly, they do all those things. Okay, Charlie, how do we know that plants are alive?
Kenji, Amelia, and Damika, that is a really, really good question. It is very hard to tell if a plant is alive because it doesn't move very fast. So plants are something that do stay in one place, but they still get the chance to move and grow. And one way to tell that a plant is alive is how their leaves move towards sunlight. They might not move nearly as quickly as animals, but I promise you that they do move and grow. If you take a plant and you put it next to a windowsill where it gets a lot of sun, in about a day or two, you'll notice that the leaves are all pointing towards the sun. Another way you can tell if a plant is alive is when the plant doesn't have enough water. The leaves may look brown or yellow. But then when you give it water and you come back a few hours later, you'll notice that the leaves aren't brown or yellow anymore, and the plant is actually perked up and kind of looking back to normal.
Let's go to our next question. This one from Bruno.
Hi, my name is Bruno, and I'm 6 years old, and I live in Buckeye, Arizona. And my question is, why do plants are green?
Bruno, plants are green because they have a special feature in their cells called chlorophyll. Plants have the superpower of being able to absorb sunlight through the chlorophyll to make food for the plant to eat. Plants absorb a gas called carbon dioxide, and what comes out is oxygen, which is really important because oxygen is what we breathe. When there is enough sunlight, the chlorophyll is the color green. That's why plants are green. And this entire process is called photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Can you say that with me? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Photosynthesis. That can be our word of the day. Photosynthesis is the way that plants use water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight to create their own food. What were those 3 ingredients? Do you remember? Number 1, water. Number 2, carbon dioxide. Number 3, sunlight. Way to go! Hey, all this talk of photosynthesis has me itching for a mystery sound. We'll play a sound and you guess what it is. I'll play it 3 times. This is a great moment to stretch your arms and legs. See how high you can reach. Here's the mystery sound. Think you have it? Okay, one last time. Okay, got your guess? We'll tell you the answer at the end of the episode.
Hi, my name is Luna. I am 5 years old and I live in New York. And my question is, what are plants in difference from animals?
That's a great point, Luna. We already talked about some things that plants and animals have in common. But I wonder what Charlie has to say about how plants and animals are different.
Thank you, Luna. That is a great question. One big difference between plants and animals is that animals can move from place to place while plants stay in one place. Plants breathe in carbon dioxide and they breathe out oxygen, but animals do the opposite. Animals, like us or like a dog or a cat, they can communicate with their mouth by barking, by meowing, or by talking. Plants don't really have a mouth, so many plants will send electrical signals through the soil to communicate with other plants. So just think about when you hear your phone ring in the house.
I love the idea of plants sending each other little electrical signals. You know, I have a brother and a sister named Jeff and Carrie. If we were all plants, we would definitely be sending little electrical signals to each other. Hey, Charlie, I was wondering, what are the parts of a plant?
There are 3 main parts. You have your roots, you have your stem, and your leaves. Now, most of the time, roots are in the ground and they absorb water and nutrients up from the soil. Now, stems are like these green straws that are transporting the water and the nutrients that the roots have soaked up into the rest of the plant. The leaves absorb sunlight through photosynthesis for the plant.
Hi, my name is Misa. I'm calling from Pasadena, California. My question is, why does plants give flowers?
What a great question. I love flowers. Don't you just love walking through the park and seeing a flower and stopping and looking at it? Sometimes I like to smell them or look for bumblebees that might be buzzing around. But hey, Charlie, why exactly do plants get flowers? I think it might have something to do with reproducing.
So plants reproduce by essentially making copies of themselves. Some plants use the process called pollination. And pollination is where flowers are carrying these little yellow bits of dust called pollen. Animals such as bees and flies will go to these plants and pick up the pollen and transport it to another plant.
So that's why they have flowers. The flowers attract bees and flies and butterflies by being colorful and smelling fragrant. And while the bees and the flies are getting a yummy snack in the flower, they mix up all the pollen and even carry pollen from one flower to another. That helps the plant reproduce.
Hi, I'm Juliana. I have 4 years. And my question is, how do plants grow? Bye! Hi, my name is Blue. I'm 6 years old and I live in Bacay, Arizona. And my question is, why do plants need soil?
Excellent question, Bruno and Juliana. One way for plants to eat is through the process of photosynthesis. This process actually has them creating their own food from sunlight, but they also receive nutrients from the water that the roots absorb.
Hey, there's that word again, photosynthesis. Do you remember the 3 ingredients for photosynthesis? Shout them out with me. First ingredient, water. Second ingredient, chocolate chips. Oh, wait, maybe not chocolate chips. Second ingredient, carbon dioxide. Third ingredient, sunlight. And now we also know where the water comes from. It comes from the plant's roots, which are in the soil. Charlie said that plants get other really important ingredients from the soil, like calcium and potassium.
There's even a few plants that actually eat insects. These plants are called carnivorous plants. Carnivorous meaning that they eat meat. So even though most of the plant's nutrients do come from the soil or from the sunlight, there are a few plants that will actually eat insects in order to get the nutrients that they need to survive.
Hello, my name is Maria and I'm 8 years old and I live in Dubai. I'm from Colombia. And my question is, how many different types of plants are there?
Hello, my name is Emily. I am from Bituba. I am 9 years old. And my question is, what are there so many plants on Earth?
Great question, Maria and Emily. Hey, Charlie, do you know why there are so many plants on Earth?
There's actually hundreds of thousands of types of plants on our planet. There are some plants that are aquatic, that live in the ocean. There are some plants that actually live on other plants or other trees in the air. And there are plants that are carnivorous plants as well. And in almost every part of the world, there's actually plant life growing there. But depending on which part that we're on, the amount of plants can be different. So let's take the North Pole. The North Pole is basically this icy desert with a bunch of really cool animals like polar bears and narwhals and seals and beluga whales. But there really aren't a lot of plants that live in the North Pole. But as you go south from the North Pole and it starts getting warmer and wetter and we're getting close to the middle of the Earth where there's a big line called the equator, the more and more plants that you will see. So with stronger sunlight, when it's hotter, and of course when it's wetter, meaning that there's more rain, you will find more and more plants there.
That's a cool observation. There are more plants in a jungle than there are on the North Pole. And now we know it's because it's warm, sunny, and it rains a lot. Okay, next question.
My name is Margaret, and I'm 7 years old. I live in North Carolina. And my question is, why do some trees grow tall and some don't?
Hello, my name is Jaden. I am from Bituba, Cundinamarca. I am 10 years old. My question is, why do some plants grow bigger than others?
That is an excellent question, Margaret and Jaden. Sunlight is the reason why they can grow to different heights and sizes. If you go to a jungle and you'll see tons and tons of different plants, the plants are actually competing for the sunlight. So they'll grow higher and higher and higher. When you have a plant that's growing on a windowsill, if you put something in front of that plant, give it a couple days and the plant will grow taller in order to reach the sunlight.
That is a really cool activity. You know, something I've noticed is that plants can grow back parts like leaves or branches. Hey, Charlie, how do they do that?
This is actually one of my favorite questions. Plants have the incredible superpower of being able to grow back leaves or stems when they break or die off. There are actually special cells in a plant that are called meristems. And the meristems, when a branch breaks, for example, will reorganize themselves to protect the plant.
Meristems. That's a new one for me. Hey, why don't we go back and check in with Milam? Hey, Milam, are you ready to take a short break and maybe stretch and move a little bit?
Yeah, I'd love to. That sounds nice and sweet.
Milam is always full of characters. Okay, we need a few things from you. The first thing we need is a body part.
Okay, you use your whole body to make an X, but if you're in the car, you use your fingers and then paddle.
Okay, so the part of your body is your entire body. We're not choosing one part. And the shape that listeners should make is an X. And then how should they do it?
By doing jumping jacks.
While doing jumping jacks. Okay, so if you're in the car, you should be doing Milam is doing jumping jacks right now. So you're going to use your entire body to make the shape of an X while doing jumping jacks. Is that right, Milam?
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're in the car, maybe you can cross your legs, maybe you can cross your arms, maybe you can stretch out as far as you can.
Maybe you can use your fingers and then paddle them.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Milam. And if this is your second time listening to this episode, you should do it while you're making a silly face. How's that?
Yeah, that's gonna be a great one.
While you're making an X, let's take a moment to recap some of the lessons we learned with Charlie. First, we learned that all living things have 7 things in common. They move, they eat food, they use food to make energy, they detect things in their surroundings, they grow, they reproduce, and they get rid of waste. We also learned about something called photosynthesis, where plants use carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water to make food. And in the process, they release the oxygen that we breathe. We also learned how plants move toward light and how different parts, like roots, stems, and leaves, each have a special job. We learned that plants like to grow in warm, wet places, which makes jungles and rainforests much better than places like the North Pole. One last thing that I thought was super cool is that flowers aren't just pretty. They're how many plants reproduce, using pollination with the help of bees and other insects. Okay, let's get back to one more question. Go ahead, Kenji.
Hi, my name's Kenji. I live in Pasadena, California, and I'm 5 years old. And my question is, if I want to be studying plants when I grow up, what should I be?
There are so many different jobs that you can work with plants. You could be a farmer and grow food. You could work for a garden and make houses prettier. You could also work for a plant nursery and grow plants for other people to get creative with in their home. You could also work for a park and take care of it for other people to enjoy if they want to go on a hiking trail or a hiking trip. You could also be a scientist and a conservationist to protect different plants from extinction.
That is so cool. These sound like super interesting jobs. You know, I have friends who are farmers and other friends who work in national parks and who study plants. One of the things I love about their jobs is that they're outside a lot. They're touching the soil, they're getting dirty, they're touching plants, looking at butterflies, breathing fresh air. I wonder if some of our orbiters will someday be botanists or farmers or work in botanic gardens like Charlie. Hey, Charlie, thanks so much for answering our questions today.
Thank you so much, Orbiters, for your amazing questions. And I really hope that you learned a lot and discovered that plants are magic. And there is more to them than just a green stem coming out of the ground. And next time you go outside, take a look at a tree or a flower. Look all over. Look under its leaves. Look at the stem and look at its flowers. You might find something new. There is always something to learn, and there's always something more than meets the eye.
We're about to get back to Milam, but first, I bet some of you are wondering about the answers to the mystery sound. Here it is. Think you have it? If you said it is waves on a beach, you were correct. Way to go. I'm sending you a high five right now. Okay, let's get back and catch up with Milam. Hey, Milam, did you enjoy learning with Charlie?
Yes.
Okay, let's test your knowledge. I'm going to give you 3 true and false statements, and you get to respond. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Are you nervous?
No.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you?
9.
No, that's very nervous, so you are nervous.
I mean, what? 2.
You're 2, so we're a little bit nervous. Okay, true or false? Plants can move.
True.
Why is that one true?
Because plants can move their, I forgot what it's called.
Their leaves?
Yeah. Up to the sun.
Yeah,
I want
that's right.
you, sun. Oh, I want you, lights.
Toward the light, that's right. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, true or false? Plants use the sun and carbon dioxide to make their own food.
True.
You think that one's true? Why do you think that one's true?
Because sunlight and carbon dioxide are part of photosynthesis.
What do you think, listeners? Is that true? That is correct, because sunlight and carbon dioxide are part of photosynthesis. All right, Milam, you are 2 for 2. Do you think you can go 3 for 3?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
All right,
Yes,
listeners, we're
yes,
about to
yes,
find
yes.
out. All right, Milam, true or false? Plants are green because it helps them hide from animals that would eat them.
False. Plants are green because they have chlorophyll, which helps them with photosynthesis.
Well done, Milam. You are you are the world champion of the true-false quiz today. Would you like to give an acceptance speech for your award?
This is me, Milam. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I have won the quiz!
Amazing. Well, families, we hope you had a wonderful time with today's podcast and that you learned as much as Milam and I did. Milam, we're about to wrap up this episode. I think it would be cool to give families like a question they can talk about or maybe an activity that they can do together. Do you have an idea for something that families can do?
Yes. Go outside to see how many leaves you can find. Notice if they are green, brown, red, yellow, or a different color.
Cool. That's a great idea. They should go like into their local park or maybe around their school, or kids with their adults can go maybe into their backyard if they have a yard, and they're supposed to look for leaves everywhere, right?
Yes.
Do you have a local park that you like to go to that you're going to do this with your mom and dad?
No.
No, I know you do. You live close to many parks. My favorite park is called Parque Mexico, and I'm going to go visit to look at all the leaves that I can find here. Hey, Milam, any last messages for our listening audiences?
Don't forget to brush your teeth.
That's a great message. Everybody, don't forget to brush your teeth, and we'll see you in the next episode of Orbit. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Orbit is a podcast produced by Cumbre Kids. This episode is also available in Spanish on our sister podcast, Cráneo, Ciencia para niños, curiosos. This episode was written by me, Robert Carpenter. The producer is Catherine Aguilar. Artwork for the episode by Moises Monsalve and Jorge Wake. And don't forget to check out our podcast in Spanish, Cráneo, Ciencia para niños, curiosos, Camaleón, Animales para niños, curiosos, and Buenas noches, Cráneo. We'll see you in the next episode. Ciao!
The end.
The important thing is not to stop questioning Albert Einstein.